Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another evening of NGS action. Sorry about the slight delay. Of course, it's a Friday night for me at work, and so that means that something has to go wrong in the last 30 seconds. And it did. But we made it. These teams were very patient with me, were willing to wait, and now we are getting everything underway. For those who do not know me, my name is Icex, and tonight I'm bringing you a Division D West matchup between Knife Party going up against Deep Fried Ming Balls. These teams have been waiting patiently, are in the lobby, so I want to make sure we get right over to the map so you can see what's going on real quick. Deep Fried Ming Balls, they won the toss. They wanted first hero pick, so Knife Party, they're the ones who got to start banning maps right away. They banned out Braxis Holdout and banned out Towers of Doom. Meanwhile, Deep Fried Ming Balls, they banned out Curse Hollow and Sky Temple. And the first map we are going to is going to be Tomb of the Spider Queen, picked up by Knife Party. Marbuckle coming in with a follow. Thank you so much. Welcome to the channel. Hoping you're having a good time here. I don't know. Oh, they set me as referee so you can see the chat. How fun for you guys. You're going to get to see all this fun chat that's going on in my bottom corner, even though you shouldn't be able to see it. So, and yeah, don't know why, but my camera, or update for all those, wondering, camera is here. New camera has arrived. It will be set up this weekend for week 5 of NGS. It should be good to go again. It was something, unfortunately, that broke because of a certain 4-year-old toddler, but now it is here, replaced, and we are good to go. So we will be ready to set that up and get that back going here in a little bit. Meanwhile, getting this map underway, this series, let's get in and start talking about some of these matchups. We have Tomb of the Spider Queen, small map, those close-knit corridors, teams going to be fighting all the time, and of course we're going to see Alarak being the first ban. Odd ban, must be a target ban, not necessarily known for Alarak Medivh, going to be actually the second ban out here as well. I'm guessing another target ban, or just don't want to deal with the kidnap comp. Meanwhile, Knife Party, they banned out the Tychus first and foremost, going to wait on the second ban. And a lot of the champions that you see banned out, or at least heavily prioritized on our map, like Tomb of the Spider Queen, are not banned. We still have Mei, we still have Diablo, and I spoke too soon. Mei is gone, but we still have Diablo, we still have Stitches, we still have Vala, we still have Nazeebo. All these champions very, very strong on the pool right now. Mrs. So, or Wings of So, she changed her name, is going to pick up Brightwing. I hadn't even started talking about the healer pool yet, but Brightwing going to be picked up by Miss is So, or Wings of So. Charmeleon going to pick up the Leoric. Leoric does very, very good on a map like Tomb of the Spider Queen, where you can soak between that top and bottom if you want the solo laner in that off lane. If you want him in the bot lane, he can also build to match up very well against the majority of bruisers. And there is the Johanna, going to be there for the wave clear and be that aggressive tank on these rotations. Lubin H, dropping the follow. Thank you so much. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a fun time. Dropping in the Go Knife Party coming out, cheering for his team. Love to see it here. Looking at Deep Fried Ming Balls, what are they going to pick? They're going to grab that Vala. Vala, one of those strong assassins. I still think she's in a very good spot. Got nerfed a little bit. She went from S+ to S, but she's still up there in that assassin pool, and a Nubrak going to pair with it. Nubrak does very good on most of these maps, however, suffers a little bit into Leoric and Johanna. Has to be very careful with the cocoons. Johanna can Iron Skin if she catches that animation. If she's got them fast fingers, she can make sure that cocoon does not have an effect. Leoric, same thing with the Wraith Walk. If once he sees that cocoon animation start, if it is on him, he can Wraith Walk his way out of it. So, gonna be a game of chicken there, going back and forth between the stupid and Nubrak. Excellent single target crowd control. Gonna be able to lock targets down, paired well with the polymorph from the Brightwing. So we'll see how those two do. Gazlo banned out by Knife Party. Violence 116 coming in with the follow. Welcome. Glad you're here. Let's go, Silver Arrow. Arrow's not even playing with Deep Fried Balls this season and getting the cheers for him anyway, giving the nod to the old team. Love to see it. Meanwhile, it is going to be that Stukov ban coming out from Deep Fried Ming Balls, focusing that healer pool. Anduin still available, still can pair well with the Johanna if you want to do that Falling Sword Light Bomb. And there he is, Anduin coming out with the Tassadar. Tassadar going to be able to use those walls, highly effective in these close-knit corridors. Can use that Black Hole or Archon. Looking at the comp right now, I anticipate, actually, it's a very good Archon composition so far. We'll see which way Tassadar decides to play it. But they're holding off that second assassin, that flex player, for that last pick. Meanwhile, DeepFriedMingBalls, they're looking for another assassin and their offlaner. Going to Leoric, want to look at Thrall, want to look at something that can match up well depending on how Leoric does in that offlane. It's going to be double support. Huli going to pick up the Malfurion instead, and Chromie going to be locked in here as well. So we've got a double support. Not entirely sure that was supposed to be. Maybe he meant Malthael instead of Malfurion? Not entirely sure, but we're going to see how this works. Anyway, Hanzo picked up here, locked in by Knife Party, and a good rounding out of the composition coming in from Knife Party. I don't know what the... I'm curious. I think the Malfurion was a misclick. I'm not entirely sure, but we're going to see it. This is hyper carry, Vala. Have the Chromie in the background as well. Got a lot of crowd control for sure. There's a ton of crowd control at DeepFriedMingBalls side. So we'll see how this one plays out. Let me get this prediction started. Start prediction. Who will win game number 1? Is it going to be Knife Party or is it going to be the DeepFriedMingBalls? You have 2 minutes to vote starting now. Good luck. And I will see you in this game. Looking at these, looking at it, I really like the draft that came out of Knife Party. I love the Johanna. I love the Anduin paired with the Johanna. I love the Tassadar pickup as well, especially into a champion like Vala. I'm really curious to see how this double support works out on the side of DeepFriedMingBalls. If they win this series, we are definitely going to spend a second talking about that. Because I'm trying to piece it together. Anubrak has the solo tank. He definitely does not have to be the engager. Malfurion with a double support. Malfurion can be the one who decides to engage with the roots there, and then Anubrak can have easy follow up, especially if he goes sleep at level 1. Anubrak has an easy pickings. I don't know. I'm curious. We'll see how this goes. I definitely have to give the post 10 lean towards a Knife Party, however. So we'll see what DeepFriedMingBalls can do in the early game. But let's get these teams introduced. On the blue side, we have Knight Party. We have Charmelaine on that Leoric. We got Sabing on the Tastar. Knives sitting there on the Johanna. X-War is fun on the Hanzo. And we got Aelbog on the Anduin. Meanwhile, on the red side, we've got your DeepFriedMingBalls. We got Kirkario on that Malfurion. We got Elixir moving around on the Chromie. Wings of So on the Brightwing. Huli on the Vala. And we got Tazak sitting on that Anubarak. Into the mid lane we go. At the talents we look, and holy moly, stacking quests galore coming out of DeepFriedMingBalls. Everybody's got a stacking quest except that Brightwing, who did take bribes, so going to be able to macro this bot lane up pretty well. Hanzo going for that simple geometry at 1, has 5 stacks already, and everybody is picking up stacking quests. Laws of Hope by Johanna, auto attack by Tassadar. This is going to be a super interesting scale into late game team comp. We've got a Nubarak going up against Leoric in the bot lane. So the rotation, the engage potential is pretty much completely gone coming from DeepFriedMingBalls right now. They do have the root potential, but Malfurion did not go to sleep. So they've got this going for them. However, they don't have a Nubarak to really follow up and lock down any of these targets. Plus, Johanna can be very aggressive. She could just position herself in that aggressive pathway, and nobody can really walk up to her because they are all so squishy. If they rotate as a 4-man coming out of Knife Party, they really can shut off this corridor pretty easily, not having the Nubarak in that rotation. Now it looks like Brightwing's going to rotate down and Nubarak's going to rotate up. That's more along lines of what I thought, but Malfurion getting focused out here. Going to go down. Hanzo getting a lot of damage. 6 stacks of that simple geometry and first blood going on over to Knife Party. And here we looking at this bot lane. It's going to be a Nubarak and Brightwing going against Hanzo and that Leoric. The good news, if you're, DeepFriedMingBalls, is Hanzo's not going to stack up very well in the bot lane. He wants to get in this like rotation, this kind of area right here. This is where Hanzo gets his stacks going. Likes to be up, getting these people as they're trying to get turns in, get those W stacks flowing aplenty here. We do see Knife Party using the Tassadar and Anduin to pick up their Bruiser camp. Nobody from DeepFriedMingBalls grabbing theirs yet. Nubarak trying to get the burrow through and catch the Hanzo. Didn't quite grab him. Knife sitting about half health on that Johanna there. And we're looking at you know, this camp has been picked up. 2-man's committed into the bot lane. They're going to have a real tough time killing New York. I don't think the kill pressure is quite there, so they're going to have to get back up into the rotation. Huge wall coming out from the Tacet there. Malfurion is caught on a rotation. Brightwing trying to come in. Will he survive? He does survive so far. Time stop coming in from Chromie to try and save, but Hanzo is here, putting down the damage. Tacet finishes him off with the Q, and Brightwing getting fairly low as well. Johanna going to bully it around, and this is what happens when the tank is not available, cannot get there, is all of these squishy targets. Johanna can just run right at them. So all of these squishy targets, Johanna has free reign. Hooli sitting very low on the resources, has almost no mana, no health. And this Bruiser camp getting a lot of value here in the mid lane. Well is gone, which is going to allow a lot of pushing pressure. Goodness, I can't say my words. I'm still way too amped up from the race home. And bot Siege Camp trying to be picked up by Knife Party here. Continuing to grow their map pressure. 3-0 so far in kills, all favoring Knife Party. Root going down on to the Leoric, able to Ghost walk himself away, Wraith walk himself away. 7's online for Knife Party. Just around the corner for DeepFriedMingBalls, so Knife Party can set up really nicely around this bottom turn-in. And Knife Party doing an excellent job playing this early game, which is what they needed to do, because post 10, when their ults come online, Knife Party will be very terrifying, having lots of pick kind of compositions. Johanna Blessed Shield, or if they do the Light Bomb, Falling Sword. Either way they do that, they're going to have lots of pick potential. Entomb from the Leoric, Dragon Arrow from the Hanzo. I fully anticipate now with this composition it is going to be that Archon Tassadar. I don't really think he'd go Black Hole, but we'll see. But first Web Weaver phase coming in for Knife Party, getting a siege into the mid lane, doing a little bit in the bot lane with Tassadar and Leoric as well. Nobody from DeepFriedMingBalls going to contest this bot lane. We got 2 in the top lane, 3 in the mid lane, trying to save at least 2 of their forts, which they will do pretty successfully. Brightwing can stay at the top. This bot is not long for the world, going to go down pretty quickly. It looks like Vala rotating down. Maybe Nubrak's trying to get in, misses the burrow, gets the root from the Anduin, trying to turn around, maybe get the Johanna here. Nubrak sitting fairly low, has to back himself up. Now the counter engages on, and that is Hanzo getting a nice scatter shot, picking up the Nubrak, but Tassadar going to trade his life away, taking a few tower shots underneath the tower, so good return kill coming in from DeepFriedMingBalls. 1-for-1 so far. Everybody sitting a little bit low on the resources from DeepFriedMingBalls, so they're not going to be able to chase that much longer, except Brightwing. Brightwing's, you know, Brightwing's doing her own thing, but Hooli going to come down, finish off the camp in the bot lane, get that Web Weaver phase end, and now DeepFriedMingBalls are looking to maybe set up a play of their own around the level 10s. They're not going to win the 10 race. They need to get the turn in, get their Bruiser camp, but right around the time those 10s are online for them, they can try and get a turn in as well. They've got 20 gems worth of time before they really need to force anything. Only 34 gems for Knife Party so far. But 10s are online, are coming online for Knife Party. It is going to be the Archon by the Tassadar, but it is going to be the Dragon Strike, not the Dragon Arrow from Hanzo. Going to try and pair it with the Entomb. It is going to be the Light Bomb as expected from the Anduin. Here comes the Dragon Strike Entomb combination they were looking for, but they do miss it, although Malfurion is still caught. The Archon is pumped, and so they get the kill. And the second one onto Wings of So is going to happen as well, so that is 2 kills to none so far, right around those 10s. Johanna did go for the Blessed Shield, so they're going to go for the safer engage, but I like it a lot more because there are so many squishy targets. This is more of the engage you want to see out of the Johanna. You just want, with a double support, double squishies, you just want to see that full-on engage. But Hooli still getting the turn in around the 10s, which is what they wanted to do. Web Weavers coming on the line. 10s are here now. Chromie did get the Sands at 8. And now the 10s are probably coming in as you expect. Twilight by Malfurion, Strafe by Vala, Blink Heal and Cocoon by Brightwing and Anubrak. Pretty standard coming out. And now this is where they want to, if they can, try to find a stagger pick play in this top lane. It looks like it's going to be the focus. They don't have Vala here, so they don't have the kill pressure. If they can get Anduin under with that Cocoon and try to, oh, they put Leoric under instead. looking to continue to try and find this fight. Elixir sitting very low on health, gets the timing a little off. The Dragon Strike comes out, and big combination coming in here for Knife Party. Look at that. And Leoric comes out, says, surprise, I'm here. Here's your Gray, puts it down. Dragon Strike comes through, and that is the combo that they set up with this Dragon Strike. 3 kills so far, 4 now. A lot of gems, but Kirk is going to be able to pick them up pretty safely. Gets up to 37. The Web Weavers are going to start pushing in this mid and bot lane. But that was a lot of damage coming out of that Hanzo there. When you've got the Leoric, if people are grouping together, you can throw the Entomb Dragon Strike down. It is pretty devastating. Missed the first one, but definitely hit the second one. Massive, super effective ultimate combo there. And DeepFriedMingBalls, they're just looking to take this to 20, get the rewind from a Nubrak. If they can get a pick on the way there, that's perfectly, you know, what they want to do. They want to find those picks if they can. Their composition's purely built around getting that single target pick with the amount of crowd control they have. But the big 5-on-5 team fights, those are the ones that they want to avoid. Not looking to do any big fighting here. Just trying to get those isolated picks in some of these fights. Vala putting the damage down. Has to be careful. The Nubrak gets the burrow, but the Wraith Walk had already started by the Leoric. Gets himself out. No problem at all. Camp being picked up by Knife Party. They've got a 2-level lead. They're looking to grow it even more. But they should be looking to really push their aggression right now with those 13s. Webs are turned in, or gems are turned in. Web Weaver responding. Here comes again, big Light Bomb, big Entomb, big Dragon Strike, damage going down. Brightwing and Nubarak, Malfurion all going down to that combination there. Deadly combo. Gonna have to stay a little more spread out dealing with that. And that is 3 kills going over to Knife Party so far. A excellent time to get those kills as well, right when the Web Weavers are spawning. This is gonna allow them to continue to press their advantage here and just claim all of these structures as their own. Gonna get at least a fort, possibly this mid keep. We'll see if Chromie can delay it. The good news is the death timers are still low, so everybody will be able to get back. Anurak trying to find that fight onto Aelbog, puts Leoric under, trying to chase the Anduin, misses the spines, but the root from Malfurion lands. Anduin going very low. They just need one more hit from Chromie, but another 3-man Entomb. Hanzo's nowhere in the zip code to get the Dragon Strike, however. So everybody able to back themselves. Oh, Chromie got caught. Beautiful Tassadar wall coming in there, but a nice impale by the Anubrak saves Chromie's life. So good plays by both teams there, making sure that nobody falls. And the counter engage looked like it's on. Vala just jumping all the way in, strafing, uses the vault to go forward. We do have Leoric all the way in the backline. Light Bomb onto the Leoric there, gets a 3-man, but the Dragon Strike does miss. The Impale going down onto the Johanna, so low, and that is a kill picked up by the Vala. They're looking to find another here. Gets the Polymorph down onto the Tassadar, the root landing onto Brightwing. But the keeps have fallen. Tassadar did go down, however. Anubrak trying to stay alive, picks up the globe. Will he live? Charmblaine's on the chase, gets the slow, but onto Brightwing. A keep has been picked up in the bot lane. 2 kills, however, were picked up by DeepFriedMingBalls, so they are back up against it, but they're able to get those kills, get the experience, have the gem turn in, so they should be able to get to their 16s. And that's kind of the fight they were looking for, making sure all those ultimates do miss coming out of Knife Party and then turning and re-engaging on that. So if they can keep that patience and do that again, that is their ticket back into this game. Meanwhile, Knife Party, they really just need to control the map at this point. The map is already going to continue to buckle into DeepFriedMingBalls base. As long as they can keep up on these camps and just stall out for the 20s or find these fights with Leoric. Leoric's looking, he is itching, he's got the Entomb, finds the Chromie, Light Bomb going down. It does not land the stun, but Chromie cannot get out of that Dragon Strike. Picks up Chromie and Vala, Brightwing barely blinking away. Anubrak putting Hanzo under, trying to get himself away. Meanwhile, we've got a chase. They're trying to get Wings of So. Anubrak down in the bot. Gets the burrow, so he will get away. Meanwhile, Brightwing is going to try and run away from the Johanna Anduin combo. Anduin not able to land the stun. And Knife Party, again, getting rewarded with an excellent use of the ultimates there. Haven't started the boss yet, looking to start it. Vala and Chromie will be up shortly. The good news about this combo coming out of Knife Party, it's on such a low cooldown. I mean, Entomb I think is like a 60 or 70 second cooldown. Light Bomb's a 90 second cooldown. Dragon Strike's a 70 second cooldown, I believe. Blessed Shield's a 60 second cooldown. So they can run this combination very often. They already picked up the boss because Hanzo is level 16, so he does... Oh, he didn't go for the piercing arrows. Interesting. But we've got another fight here. The ultimates are online. Tassadar gets 1 kill. There goes the Entomb. There goes the ultimate from the Hanzo, and 3 more kills go over. Blessed Shield will make sure that Brightwing will fall. Lightwing, oh no, Brightwing gets the blink and is starting to bring everybody away, but the boss is picked up. Brightwing does go down to the Tassadar. Tassadar getting a triple kill. They did get the fort in the mid lane with the Bruiser minions, but at what cost? This boss is absolutely devastating in the top lane. 5's coming in. GG's already coming out from both sides. Chromie's up in 9. Vala's up in 9. And Nubrak gonna try and get this defense here. Does have the Cocoon, can put the Hanzo under, but instead puts the Leoric looking to try and defend here, but the boss just causing so much damage, and Nubrak just absolutely melts. And this will be GG game 1 going over to the Knife Party. I'm going to go out and say, I mean, I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure the Malfurion was a misclick. I'm guessing here. I'm purely speculating. I don't want to necessarily, say one way or the other, but I don't think the Malfurion, I don't know, maybe it was. Maybe they had a plan, but it didn't seem like that was exactly the plan. And the big thing was with the early game. I mean, they had the early game. DeepFriedMingBalls had early game pressure. They had so much kill pressure with the Vala, Chromie, and a Nubrak. But unfortunately, a Nubrak went up in the bot lane against the Leoric. So they didn't have anybody to really engage outside of Malfurion. And Johanna is sitting, very, very healthy on the other side, can really just be that bully, can take a lot of damage and walk up to these squishies. So the squishies on DeepFriedMingBalls had to be very passive. So when, once the 10s, we knew once the 10s come online, we knew the Entomb was coming out, we knew the Light Bomb was coming out, we knew the Hanzo was gonna, I assumed he was gonna go Dragon Arrow, went Dragon Strike to pair with the Entomb there. I thought the combo was gonna be, the Dragon Strike, just wombo combo Entomb, group them all up and use the scatter arrow to just knock them down, kind of like bowling. But they used the Dragon Strike instead and used it very effectively. They missed that first one, but pretty much every other one after that, they hit and hit hard. Hanzo putting out 53k damage. Tassadar putting out 35, Leoric 38. So some good damage coming out of Knife Party in a lot of these post-10 team fights. Meanwhile, DeepFriedMingBalls coming in 42k from Huli on the Vala. 25 from a Nubrak, 24 from the Chromie. Chromie, did she go W? She did go W build. So going with the W build. Did get the timeout, which definitely was needed with that Entomb. Beneficial for the first 10, or from, 10 to, or I guess Chromie gets it at 11, from 11 to 20. But once Leoric gets the silence, no longer going to help Chromie in those combinations. But there's the talents for those who like to look at it. I'm going to go look at chat, see what's I missed. Means Malfurion has to step way up, though. Yeah, for the engages in the early game. Double support makes that a little easier from Krizo. Interesting for sure. Interesting is definitely a good word for that. Pre-10 Knife Party lose, but they scale a lot harder. Absolutely. Hanzo's doing well, nailing every shot. Silver coming in with the flare. Oh, yeah. Choose prediction outcome. Gotta give my points over for the Knife Party. 89%. Picking Knife Party there and winning all those sweet points. Coffee with Sil reported for Draken abuse. Oh no. Knife Party needs to camp more, turn in more. Wow, wombo combo, good job pushing their buttons together. Yeah, that was definitely how the second half of that game worked out. The combos were definitely strong here on the side of Knife Party. But we are going to Alterac Pass for map number 2. think of this as the combo of maps I casted in my last game, which is funny because it's like starts with Tomb of the Spider Queen, very compact, very dense map where there's just a lot of team fighting, not much macro play, more on the micro play. And then game number 2, we go to Alterac Pass, which is this very, very spread out, heavy macro map, not so much focused on the team fighting. Objective is pretty much essentially ignored for the first 10 levels. And then kind of just, you know, moving on from there, the objective starts getting a little more value. Mainly the two things you want on Alterac Pass is you want a good global presence slash double soaker, whichever one you want. Somebody fast with the double soak, or just a global presence like a Falstad, Dahaka, Brightwing. And you want a fast camp clear. So you're looking at you like Greymane, Junkrat, looking at, Greymane has an advantage. Hanzo can definitely be brought out again. Hanzo has very fast camp clear, especially post 16. So looking at really, really fast camp clear champion and really, really good global presence, and that typically gets you a very, very good edge in a map like Alterac Pass. Definitely have to drop the Marozar. Thank you for the follow during the game. Sorry, I typically don't shout out all that stuff during the game, but it was noticed. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a fun time here tonight. Definitely a fun game number 1. Looking for a bounce back from DeepFriedMingBalls here in game number 2. Still don't know who picked this map yet. We're waiting for everybody to kind of join the lobby. Once we get everybody in, we'll be able to find out who exactly picked the map. And where we go. Now they're getting stepped up. Looks like DeepFriedMingBalls. They wanted first pick again. So it looks like Knife Party was the one that picked to send us to Alterac Pass here. Marl, oh good, just kind of watching her friend play. Hey, awesome. That's exactly what this is for, setting this thing up. Thanks for coming out, supporting your friends. I'm sure he absolutely appreciates it. He or she, sorry. Don't want to assume. But, yeah, welcome. Lots of Heroes action on this channel. For those who are veterans of the channel, like to hang out here. Division D is kind of where I've been parking it this week, casting a lot of Division D action. Did a lot of Storm League last week, the highest competitive heroes that exists in the NGS so far. So did a lot of that this last week. Wanted to this week spend some time casting some of the other divisions. And just watching some of the chat, the double support was definitely not the strategy. There's a lot of jokes going in there. But we're getting some readies coming out from everyone. Just waiting. I've given the ready. One other member has given the ready. And it looks like we have 1 or 2 more minutes needed by one of the teams. Looking at trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing upcoming the schedule. I got a couple coaching things that I've been doing this weekend, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to cast. I might just do some replay casts upcoming this weekend because I got a couple coaching opportunities that I'm going to be doing as well, trying to get some of these we're getting towards that mid-season NGS where all these teams are starting to get a little bit more serious, wanting to take their team to that next level and move up in their ranks, get themselves a nice seeding for when we get to the playoffs. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Morrow used to watch HOTS back when it was in beta, but kind of dropped it. Then did it for the Overwatch skin, then jumped in for a bit when Deathwing was added and kind of stopped and went to Dota 2. Dota 2, the one MOBA I haven't tried. Played a lot of them. Dota 2, just never got into that one. Never tried to jump on in. But glad you're back. Enjoying watching some more HOTS action. HOTS is definitely it's weird. It kind of, after the sad announcement of 2019 kind of fell off for a little while, probably a good year. But this last year and a half, it's been picking up again. Queue times are getting lower in competitive and in quick match. More teams than ever. NGS is at an all-time high for NGS team signups. Most divisions we've ever had. The CCL is starting to pick up in popularity. Viewership is constantly staying in almost the high triple digits. So it's getting pretty nuts. Kind of enjoying to see HOTS kind of have a little bit of resurgence, even though Blizzard is pretty much committed to just letting this game run its course, let the community kind of take it over. But here we go. Getting into bans in game number 2. Alarak going to be banned out by the DeepFriedMingBalls again. Definitely a target ban. And May going to get banned out by the side of Knife Party. I anticipate most of these bans will stay fairly similar. Maybe they'll see the Hanzo ban here instead of, what did they ban? They banned Alarak and I don't remember what they banned second last time. I know they banned Stukov third, but I can't remember what they banned second coming out of DeepFriedMingBalls. But maybe they'll switch it to the Hanzo this game. Oh, it was the Medivh. And they're going to keep the Medivh as the focus there. No Medivh, no Alarak. Meanwhile, on the side of Knife Party, last ban coming in. They're switching it up. They banned May 2nd. And Gazlo going to be the ban here. So now, again, we may start seeing some more focus. I mean, they may go with the Brightwing again. Pick up Wings of So on the Brightwing, but they're going to take the Leoric instead. One of those double soakers, like I said, as long as they can quickly do the double soaking, Leoric can be pretty devastating to deal with on a map. He doesn't necessarily have to go into that 1v1 matchup. So he answers that either global presence / double soak question mark coming out of DeepFriedMingBalls. We'll see how Knife Party elect to respond to it. Looking for some team fighting presence out of the Stukov and the Tassadar. So running that Tassadar very effective in game 1. A little bit harder to run on a more open map like Altaric Pass. Doesn't have as easy of a time setting up those walls, blocking people off. But can still do a lot of damage in these team fights. A lot of bursts if needed, or can switch back to the auto attack build. And Stukov, again, not as effective on a map like Altaric Pass, but can still be devastating with that Silence Puddle. But Garrosh picked up by Hooli. I'm always down for a Hooli Garrosh special, and Wings of So does get the Brightwing as well. So we've got no assassins so far picked up by DeepFriedMingBalls. And the assassin and healer picked up by the side of Knife Party. No camp presence picked up by DeepFriedMingBalls. Tassadar with Stukov can do the camps fairly quickly. They can also go ahead and pick up the Hanzo again and really have that camp presence. But they may look to do, I don't know if they play Falstad here, but they may elect to get that Falstad. Will do very well creating the macro pressure. Can also get in and do the team fighting thing really quickly. Also has boss control with the Gust at 10. It's going to be Rexar coming in from Charmelaine. And Diablo picked up by Knives. So leaving that last assassin. Maybe holding on to that Murky pick. I don't know. A guy can hope. Meanwhile, DeepFriedMingBalls needing 2 assassins here. Needing a mage. Well, needing a camp clear. We got to get an answer to the camp clear. And then against the Diablo, some shred. So Val is going to be the camp clear. Asmodan. It's got to be Feel My Wrath Asmodan, right? Or All Shall Burn Asmodan. Demonic Invasion Asmodan, whatever you want to call it, Asmodan. This can't be Teamfight Asmodan. I guess it could be. They just, with the Garrosh, it doesn't pair, the Teamfight Asmodan doesn't pair necessarily as well with the Garrosh. It can pair okay with I guess, if he goes Decimate instead of Taunt. But it is going to be the Hanzo picked up again. Good camp clear. So I do like Knife Party's camp pressure a little bit more than I like DeepFriedMingBalls, which camp pressure definitely is a huge factor on a map like Alteric Pass. But if it is going to be Tide of Sin Asmodan, if he is going to go that stacking, go for that gluttony early and try to stack himself up to the late game, this late game composition at DeepFriedMingBalls is much more terrifying than their last game. So I'm kind of doing a switcheroo here. The early game, I'm definitely leaning towards Knife Party. I think they've got much better camp clear. I think they've got much better initiation in the early game. Can really dictate the fights, can run around with the Diablo Stukov and gank devastatingly. They can put Rexar and Tassadar in the off lanes and Hanzo be with the 3-man, picking up camps every so often and try to get some of these pick plays in the off lanes really effectively. But post 10 and as Asmodan scales, depending on how Asmodan builds, we'll see how Asmodan decides to build. But post 10, I think the ball slowly starts to tip into DeepFriedMingBalls court, and it is going to be Greed Asmodan. Sorry, Gluttony Asmodan. I don't know what I'm talking about. It is Gluttony Asmodan. So he's going to go for the team fight Asmodan. So he's going to be able to stack himself up faster, and we'll be able to team fight in these late games. But let's get these two teams introduced. On the blue side, we've got Knife Party. We got Aelbog on the Stukov, Knives on the Diablo, Sabling on the Tassadar, War is Fun on the Hanzo, and Charmeleon on the Rexar. Meanwhile, on the red side, we got the DeepFriedMingBalls. We got Huli on that Garrosh. We got Tazak on the Asmodan, Wings of So on the Brightwing, Elixir on the Vala, and Kirk. I always try to say his name long. I call him Kirk. Kirk on the Leoric. Vala gonna get the W stacks. Asmodan looking for those gluttony stacks. Needs to start throwing out those Qs. Wants to get the champions just as much as the minions. Meanwhile, Misha coming in, getting a stun on the Rexar, and that silence puddle absolutely devastating. But Leoric already went to the bot lane, so they're not really looking to fight too much. Asmodan trying to get a few more stacks. So far, 0 for 2. But once he gets to that level 7, he will be able to stack up very quickly. And he's going to go to the top lane and match up against the Rexar. Nice stun to interrupt the Asmodan Q. Definitely wants to be in the top lane. Has the opportunity to double stack against Misha. So Rexar's going to have to micro Misha very well not to allow himself to give up double stacks to the Asmodan. But Rexar actually now going to go be the camp clear. I like it. Tassadar going to rotate up into this top lane. And the main thing I want to see after these camps, because both teams focus on camp, I want to see this duo pair with the Tassadar or the Hanzo and really start to make this guy's, really focus up here. You're going to have a lot easier time getting this Asmodan than you will the Leoric. Leoric's going to be difficult to gank. Asmodan, that's the target you want. You want to shut him down, not let him stack up. So we'll see if Knife Party is going to rotate up into that top lane with the Stukov Diablo. But camp actually picked up by DeepFriedMingBalls first. Rexar still alone on this camp. Will stay healthy, but picks it up a little bit slower. Asmodan sitting on 10 stacks. Meanwhile, Hanzo is going the Q build. So he's going to have to go around. He's in the bot lane right now, probably just trying to get the 3 stacks against the Leoric. Once he gets the Q finished against Leoric, then I anticipate he'll join the 4-man. But Diablo, gets thrown in by the Garrosh. Big damage going down. Stukov does have the big heal button to keep Diablo alive. Meanwhile, we got a push by Rexar and Tassadar up in the top lane. Asmodan continuing to look to get stacked up here. Throws the Qs onto the minions. Gonna get them down to half health and then try and finish them all off with another Q. Remember, you get quite a lot of stacks by hitting heroes, so he's gonna want to be trying to get some heroes there as well, and especially when that 7 comes online. Ooh, big stun by Risha, but Brightwing coming in instantly. Gonna heal Asmodan all the way back up, get him in tip-top shape, but he's got to watch out for this gank. This is the gank I wanted to see. Diablo coming in, gets the knockback, looks for the flip, gets the stun, no Brightwing to help, but oh, there it goes. First blood going on over to Knife Party, and that is the gank that we were waiting for. Misha actually gets traded away here, so that's a half point. Going over to the DeepFriedMingBalls. Leoric getting flipped, misses the life drain, so has to get back. Diablo gets thrown and flipped, but the big silence pool from the Stukov is going to make sure no follow-up is there. So it is 1-1/2 so far in favor of Knife Party. But Vala immediately heading back over, going to start the camp again, and this is what you'd like to see. DeepFriedMingBalls making sure that they are on top of it when it comes to camp. Rexar going to go over and try to get camps for his own team there. And we're actually seeing a little bit of focus come out of Knife Party. Going to go over, at least maybe clear the minions out. I don't anticipate they'll start this camp up. Most teams typically like to wait a little bit longer. Wait for the 10s to come online before they really start to push this objective, since the early objective just, it's not that strong. Most of the minions, the most they get is usually a tower or two at most. Ooh, it looks like Garrosh now going to be... Ooh, he does find the Stukov, but he gets slowed by the Stukov. Nice slow coming in from the Stukov, but Hanzo actually gets thrown, has his jump available, jumps over the wall. Vala getting thrown in aggressively, going to continue to chase this Hanzo. Will she be able to get the last W? Hanzo trying to run, Vala on pursuit, has the hatred to chase, and gets the kill. So Vala, off on an adventure, gets the kill. And it is now 1-1 in kills. And Tassadar actually getting very low. Hooli trying to get the chase, throws the minion, and Brightwing comes in, spit to win, gets the kill, 2-0. DeepFriedMingBalls showing some aggression here in the early game. Find the Diablo on the hunt. They're all grouped together. You like to see. Misha Bear gets killed. And another half point going over to DeepFriedMingBalls, but they have to answer this. This is excellent for Knife Party, getting these minions to crash in. Asmodan on his way down to pick it up. Sitting on 40 stacks right now. Ooh, he didn't go for the extra stack. He went for Master of Destruction, though. So gets the channel, but has to get the full channel off. We do see Diablo going in, catches the Brightwing, and continues to chase. Garrosh, ooh, a big wall coming in from the Tassadar, throws Misha into the back line. The Polymorph down onto the Bear as well, so Bear looking like she wants to return and go back in. Hanzo jumping back over the wall there. Stun coming in from the Garrosh onto the Rexar. Vala in very deep, has to watch out for this next Misha charge, but now they're turning and focusing the Bear. Bear goes down, and 9.5 seconds remain on the channel. Asmodan was able to clear a lot of those minions out. Gets a Q in here, going to be able to pick up a lot there, and that's going to help the stack game. Diablo looking for the pick on Garrosh, gets the stun, Indomitable popped. Garrosh trying to walk himself away. 10's right around the corner. Oh, a big throw onto the Stukov, but Diablo gets the flip back over. They get the Brightwing, so big explosion there. Garrosh having to get himself back, not going to happen. Diablo gets the stun at 100 health, and he will go down. Asmodan continuing to try and stack himself up. Gets the interrupt onto Diablo. Meanwhile, they're on the chase for the Leoric. Diablo looking for the stun down here. 10's right around the corner. It is Brightwing and Leoric coming back on, so they will be able to get, or Brightwing Garrosh, excuse me. 10's are online. It is going to be the Warlord's challenge by the Garrosh. Rain of Vengeance by the Vala thrown out there. Blink Heal from the Brightwing, Attuned by the Leoric, and it is the Titus Sin picked up by the Asmodan. Currently at 88 stacks, looking to get himself stacked even further. 92 now. Brightwing gets the interrupt, Rain of Vengeance thrown down, and now we're looking, 10's came online. It is the massive shove by the Stukov, Archon by Tassadar. The big wall coming in, but it does not catch off that Garrosh looking to do so. Leoric used the Wraith Rock to get away. APOC thrown out by the Diablo, catches the Asmodan. The Dragon's Arrow does miss, and Tomb thrown around, catches two. Big stun in by the Misha Bear there, throwing the Leoric away. Garrosh will fall. Stukov very low in the backline. Asmodan trying to find him to pick him off. Meanwhile, Wings of So trying to come back in on the Brightwing here. Leoric getting himself healed back up. Everybody on Knife Party trying to defend this objective, healing up. Stukov does a very good job with that, actually backing here. So we'll see if Leoric can get himself in there. Stukov now is not available, so the counter engage could be on with no healer, but nobody, I think, saw the back by Stukov. And so they're not electing to pull the trigger, and so that's the first objective pick up by Knife Party. It was very back and forth for a second there. Ultimately going over to Knife Party, and Asmodan continuing to get those stacks at 126. Vala at 24, looking to get to 30. Meanwhile, Hanzo at 2 of 5, needs to find a couple more targets. Big shove coming in there from the from the Stukov there. Tassadar at 95 of 200. And mid lane going to be the focus coming out from Knife Party. We'll see if this can be stopped. It's going to be stopped in the top lane. Actually, Diablo gets thrown over, but he gets the knockback through the wall. Warlord challenge thrown down by Hooli, trying to get himself back. The blink heal, I don't know if that hit Hooli. It may have hit a minion, I'm not entirely sure. But Huli going to be able to heal himself up just standing next to Brightwing, buddy. Lior coming in, looking for the Entomb play. Titus Sin thrown down onto the backline with the Q. And Hanzo gets a brilliant 3-man Dragon Strike there. It absolutely obliterates the Valo with the return damage there. So big pickup. Lior gets flipped. Is starting to get burned. Asmodan trying to put out the damage, but without the Vala, it's not going to be enough. Brightwing gets to teleport in, but puts herself into danger as well. Needs another person to blink to. Gets the unstoppable throw by the Garrosh. Brightwing down to 190, but Garrosh may have saved that Brightwing. And nobody falling so far. Everybody low on DeepFriedMingBalls, but they all live. Meanwhile, Rexar was able to get a very good push in the bot lane. So the fort did fall in the bot lane, but nobody dies up here in this mid lane skirmish. Galahad coming in. Let's go! Wanting to see this game go to all the way to a game number 3. Always love it when games go all the way to a game number 3. But Knife Party starting to catch the rhythm here. Had a little bit of stumbling in the early game. Figuring out here post 10. They did very effectively in game number 1. Meanwhile, Rexar and Misha having the time of their life in the bot lane. Gotta always be concerned. Rexar and Tracer, if they're on the opposing team, you always have to watch for the solo camp clears. Tracer and Rexar are like the 2 biggest ones that can solo a camp, a boss camp down. And if you haven't seen Rexar or Tracer in a while, you gotta go check those bosses, because if not, this is gonna happen, and Rexar is gonna get a reward here, and it's a big one for his team. If they can force this fight, Diablo actually looking like he wants to pick a fight here. The Diablo gets the APOC, and they get the big Dragon Strike onto Brightwing. She gets the Blink heal at 160 health. Warlord Challenge goes down, and a 2-man stun from the Rain of Vengeance is able to save Garrosh only for a minute. Vala not able to pick it off. Asmodan rolling down, but Stukov sitting very low. The re-engage is looking like it's back on. Asmodan has come down. They're looking to try and find a champion to burn. Diablo is that focus. Vala vaults herself forward. Hanzo is here. The boss was picked up by Rexar, and he is not coming up. He's going to push with the boss. Hanzo able to finish his quest, as was, I believe, Asmodan gets the 200 stacks. And so it's a 1-for-0 trade so far in favor of Knife Party. And now they're having to go ahead and try to clear out this boss in the bot lane. That means everybody from Knife Party gonna go to the top lane and get this top lane boss as well. So a double boss play coming in from Knife Party here. That's gonna get them to their 16s right around the time that this camp is picked up. There's no way they're gonna stop this, so picking up this camp is what they need. But it looks like they're gonna go up and defend the top fort instead. Didn't want to pick up the camp on the way. And now the engage is on. Diablo jumping way in there, looking for the Liork. Liork actually goes back. Polymark going down. Can he catch him in the Entomb? So he's taking tower shots. No, he can't. A big Dragon Arrow is going to catch this Garrosh as well. Asmodan continuing to try and stack up, and they just have to delay, let this Asmo get all the way up to that magical number 400. This boss should be able to be cleared out. Nobody's starting the channel yet for the side of Knife Party, which means Garrosh will be back alive. And now this camp can be picked up. I don't know if they'll get their 16s in time to contest this boss or objective. It's a 40-second objective. Asmodan can stall it on his way to setting himself up in position to get a little bit of a stall. So maybe if they pick up this camp and get some soak in this top lane and bot lane, they may be able to contest this on even talent tiers. They're already halfway through 15s. They just need to get this top soak. Nobody's grabbing it yet. Wings of So will probably go up there. Vala needs to get this one, but they're all coming down. Ooh, I don't know. You want to get the 16s first. It's going to be close. We'll see what they can do. Hanzo getting down here. He has the quest on queue complete, so he could just sit back and poke safely from range. Lior gets stunned. Garrosh getting absolutely shredded, but he found the Tassadar. Gets the taunt onto the Tassadar as well. Very low, but he's going to get away. The Dragon Strike's going to secure it. Huli getting blown up in that Entomb, and now we get the stun going down onto the Brightwing, excuse me. Wings of So going down. Tassadar did get traded away, but Vala and Brightwing were the trade for it. Lior goes down, and that is a 4-for-1 kill so far. And Knife Party, that is the fight that they wanted to take. Get the objective, only lose the Tassadar, get 4 kills, and are going to look to start putting some keep pressure on this game. Objective pushing in the mid lane with these siege minions as well, or the camp minions. Siege minions not here quite yet. Got to get the fort to get the siege minions. Actually, no siege minions in any lane so far. There he comes. But the objective picked up in the mid lane and continuing to siege. Everybody is up. Asmodan at 308, so getting close. Needs 92 more to get to that 400, and then those Tides of Sin Qs will start to hurt. But big damage coming out from this Tassadar Hanzo combination, or it was just the Hanzo. Tassadar wasn't even there yet. So Hanzo putting out a ton of damage now, having that Q quest completed with the Rexar. That's a big, big chunk from the Asmodan, but a huge Dragon Arrow onto 2 members there. Leoric very low. They do get the kill onto Misha Bear. Flip the Diablo. He's taking tower shots, is taunted, trying to get himself away with the charge. Asmodan does get a big hit and does get the Diablo. He does have the souls, so he will come back. The Asmo at 350 now. He got 50 stacks and 2 Qs there, so Asmodan getting himself ramped up. Top keep did fall. If Asmo can save this bottom keep, it's looking really, really good for the side of DeepFriedMingBalls trying to get their Asmodan to this late game. And so they did stop. Boss only lost 1 armor shield. There is a lot of exposure on these last 2 keeps, but it was a good enough delay. Catching that Diablo was huge coming out of DeepFriedMingBalls. It relieved a lot of pressure losing that engage opportunity coming out of Knife Party. And they kind of want to find something here. They want to make a play. They need to make a play before the 20s. Otherwise, they have to delay for a long, long time. And this bot boss in 30 seconds may be the place where they choose to do it at. Both objectives have been picked up. Garrosh rotating himself down. Vala as well. Brightwing going to set herself up to get some soak, be called in when she needs to. Knife Party already setting up for the boss. They don't need to force it. They can just wait for their 20s to come online. Pings are going down. Knife Party sitting in position. I do anticipate they're just going to back off of this and let themselves passively soak their way to 20. Or maybe wait for a face check by Garrosh. Leoric is in here. Diablo's going in. The 20s aren't online yet, but they're picking the fight. And Dominable is popped. Diablo is in baby form. The Dragon Strike does miss, so a lot of ultimates already burned by the side of Knife Party. Brightwing gets the heal up. Asmodan at 390, looking to get that 400. Doesn't get it quite yet. Diablo is getting the flip onto Garrosh. Leoric getting very low here, but the big taunt. Diablo in the back line. Asmodan is sitting way back here, trying to get a few more Qs. And gets the quest completed, but at what cost? Everybody's starting to fall coming out of the side of DeepFriedMingBalls. Big blink by Brightwing there to keep herself alive. And the siege is on. Asmo is going to start being able to put a lot of damage out here. And Knife Party gonna back? Gonna back. Maybe go try and finish the siege. The siege minions did push into that mid lane. Got a lot of value there. They're trying to find this Asmodan. Leoric looking to see if he can find some sort of kill. Actually, they're pretty spread out on Knife Party side, so they do catch Misha Bear. Diablo went to go get the boss here, which is actually going to be able to be cleared by the side of DeepFriedMingBalls. As long as they can keep these lanes pushed out, since mid-keep is still alive, and they have these mid-minions being picked up again, they will be able to clear that bot boss and not lose their core. The core does regenerate health on Alteric Pass. So boss being picked up by Knife Party, gonna start pushing the bot lane. Really only need 1 person to help with the boss. Brightwing could be down here and dealing with it. The boss, the core will be able to shred most of this boss with just 1 person. They're gonna send the whole team though. So they're gonna do another boss trade. It's gonna be Asmodan and Vala. Gonna go ahead and shred through this. Leoric gonna be up in the top lane. Just has to make sure that he doesn't die. Oh, Brightwing coming in. That's not a good idea. Oh no, Brightwing trying to get herself out. Does get the throw by the Garrosh. Got very lucky that didn't get stunned out there. They're trying to delay, wait for everybody to come back up. They're delaying the boss, but Vala and Asmodan still continuing to work on this boss. Top boss gonna be cleared out. They did get a lot of damage, but ultimately not able to get everything. Now they're going to go ahead and leave and deal with the top boss. But look at this in the mid lane. The camp's still getting a lot of value here. So DeepFriedMingBalls, they did get to their level 20s. They need to clear this camp safely. Garrosh has to make sure he can get himself away. Wings of So gonna blink over the wall, but Vala did get caught. Diablo, oh my gosh, she just got obliterated. Vala was there and then suddenly wasn't, and the push is on. Kirk is gonna fall on the Leoric. A big taunt onto 3 members, but Asmo is not in the area. Maybe he can get the kill on the Stukov here. The silence going to make sure that that channel does not finish. And this is a boss with full members alive coming out of Knife Party, and they are going to push all the way in here. Very, very tough defense with the Asmo. Going to be difficult. The boss is at a half health as well. Again, Asmo just gets deleted. This Hanzo Tassadar damage is just huge on top of this Diablo Stun. And this is going to be Knife Party coming in, winning the series 2-0 and getting the domination. GG's. And holy cow. It looked very back and forth for a while there, but again, the post-10 fighting coming out from Knife Party, very, very crisp and clean. Shot calling was definitely on point, using the Tassadar walls to set Diablo up for some stuns. Rexar getting that solo boss definitely helped. Hanzo landing, showing both sides of the ultimates, using the Dragon Strike one game, Dragon Arrow in another. Very effective back and forth. And ultimately, the minute Hanzo got that Q done, that Q stack done, the burst damage really started pumping out there. But let me go ahead and message our captain from Knife Party and see if we can get a possible interview set up here. I'm just going to go hang out in a lobby because I like hanging out in lobbies. Lobby 4 sounds like a fun lobby to hang out in tonight. See if anybody decides to come and join me. Looks like we've got one that we're waiting in. And there he is. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. This is Knives Tank from Knife Party coming in. Congratulations on the win. How is the team feeling?
Team's feeling pretty good. I think we feel a little bit lucky too, to be honest. If you look at the stats on that first game, just off the draft, it looked like they had just a little bit of a communication mistake on one of their picks. It looked like they were trying to take Malthael, which probably would have been a good pick. Yeah. And instead they locked in the healer. So the funny thing is though, when we saw that, we actually got nervous. We're like, crap, are they doing some sort of like fancy schmancy? So we were pretty nervous. We took it real seriously.
Right.
But
I when I saw the Malfurion get locked in, I was like, I think that's a misclick. I think he was going for I was thinking the same thing you guys were. I think he meant Malthael and he accidentally got Malfurion. I've seen that mistake happen before. It's an unfortunate one, but I mean,
like, in Masters, they'll do like a Stukov tank, like, are they trying something tricky that we don't know about? But
I mean, maybe. Yeah. I gave the benefit. I was like, they got a lot of CC. Maybe they're just going for fully committing to this single target blow up comp kind of thing with the Nubrak Malfurion, and let's just get him right here. And it looked for a second like they were doing okay, but tens kind of came online in that Tomb of the Spider Queen map, and I mean, how often do you guys get to practice that Hanzo Leora combo? Because it looked pretty clean.
Well, thank you. We do the best we can, but we'll see what happens as the next games come along.
Is that something you guys like to run often?
Or when it's given? We're experimenting with a lot of things.
Sure.
We're playing with that. We're playing like with 3 or 4 things that that we're trying to get right. We've got some friends that also have teams in this league, and they've figured out some wombos. So we feel like we've got to figure out some good ones to match up.
Yeah, it's always taking it to the next level kind of deal. Like, oh, I see your wombo and I raise you a combo kind of deal.
Exactly. It's the race to out wombo. So, but I just wanted to say another nice thing about them. So on that second game, they kind of had all the pressure on them, so that made it a lot easier for us. Even in spite of that, though, if you look at Asmo's stats, he actually did really well, and he was probably marching toward an MVP in that situation, just off the numbers. So they're definitely a good team, and we're just happy that we are able to luck out on this one. So we'll see how the next week goes.
Yeah, awesome. Like, the DeepFriedMingBalls, we know. I mean, I got to cast them quite a bit. I didn't get to cast too much Knife Party. Was Knife Party around last season, or is this kind of like
This is actually our first one.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I recognize some of the names, but I didn't recognize them all together, like as a team. So I was like, huh. But being able to pull it all together, go up against a team like DeepFriedMingBalls, who were very successful last season, had a little bit of roster swaps
Right.
going on, but
Yeah.
ultimately, it's definitely a big, big boost to be able to, go up against a team like that and be able to come away with a 2-0 victory. So, going to Tomb of the Spider Queen, you guys got to pick the map, went to Tomb, showed a very, very good composition to effectiveness going up against, the double healer. So, kind of walk us through like how you guys decided to just go through the second half of the game once you got those tens online and ultimately take that game all the way to that game one victory.
Yeah, so a big focus on us on that one was just keeping our macro game strong. Sometimes we get lax on that. So once we're able to keep that going, they didn't have a lot of damage as a result of the draft. So we were able to really capitalize well. We were able to get a lot of kills, which just sets everything up, right? So then we're able to pay, we're not losing coins, and then we're able to boss, and it just kind of spiraled. The second half was really just pushing it in and finishing it off
Okay.
for the most part.
Yeah. So it was pretty effective. Like I said, we could see the combos coming out. We're like, oh man, these combos look amazing, kind of deal, and
Yeah,
very effective with the Tomb Dragon Strike kind of combination there. Also had the possibility of doing the Blessed Shield Light Bomb, or not Blessed Shield,
exactly.
Falling Sword Light Bomb. Elected to go with the Blessed Shield instead.
That's
Was
actually exactly what we were talking about. Yeah,
sure.
because if we had enough stun, then Blessed Shield would be nice to just icing on the cake, right? Just
Hmm.
absolutely obliterate. But then it's like, well, the nice thing with Shield is then, if we miss it, right? If it's harder to kill, if they're able to evade, if their Brightwing game, you never know with a Brightwing. They're really Brightwings can be amazing, right? So
Hmm.
it was just an opportunity to have like a backup move, right? Or if we're only able to tune like half the team, then we can shield the other half and just keep everything going smoothly that way. But yeah, we
Absolutely.
we like that. We were able to land things pretty strong and it looked pretty crisp.
I
So
mean, the first few were just. I think the first one missed, and then after that, it
yeah,
was just like 3-man, 4-man, 3-man, 4-man. I was like, oh my goodness, it's just. I mean, people in chat were like, this dragon's getting away with murder. Like, it was
eh,
just insane. But going into map game two, they elected to go with first hero pick again. So you guys send us over to Alteric Pass, which is interesting whenever I see those maps pit back to back because they're like the antithesis of maps. Tomb of the Spider Queen, very small map, very close quarters, lots of walls, can slam people around.
yeah.
Alteric Pass, very open map, very big map, very macro heavy map. So what was the
But
the
we
thought
still went
behind the
with
big
slamming
shift?
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of maps, there's just a handful of maps we like, and those are
Okay.
just maps we like. They're just fun maps. In terms of picks, you're right. You would think maybe a Diablo on the first map where there's a lot more walls, right? But there's more walls in when you're right around objective. There's a lot of things to run into. So I think we were confident we could get value out of that. They had a smart ban. They banned Joe and they banned a few other people that are good. So they were looking for things. I think their strategy was sound. And honestly, if you look at the team they drafted, it's a good team. With Laeric, Asmodan, Vala, Brightwing, and Garrosh. So we were mostly just trying to avoid their wombo and just kind of keep things moving along, and it worked out
Yeah,
pretty good.
absolutely. And it seemed like, the I was anticipating it was going to be like this just ultimate blow them up on the squishies, but actually the most success you guys were getting was on Garrosh. So was it the plan like, you know what? We know Garrosh is one of the lower health targets and Hanzo went the Q build and Tassadar went I believe Tassadar I got to look it up again. I think he went Q as well. Um
Yeah.
but knowing that you had the large amount of spell burst damage you had, were you guys like, you know what, we can still handle Garrosh even if they got the combo on him, so we'll just take whatever target we can get?
It was a little of that. Garrosh was doing a good job being like really engaging, strong, getting
Hmm.
heavy. So a lot of times we would go for a different target, and then Garrosh would save them, right?
Hmm.
So then it's like, all right, well, let's pick on Garrosh, and we just kind of went for that.
Okay. So kind of just it started off, with the
Yeah,
whole we want to focus on what the squishies that we can get, and then it kind of just naturally
yeah,
turned into this once Hanzo got his Q quest finish and Tassadar got stacked up. You're like, oh wait, we can pull this out on Garrosh and actually have a lot of
exactly.
spell damage we can do on him and kill him. So
Yeah, ironically, when they took a noob, that was something that crossed our minds was because he's got that lower health pool, and we're thinking, well, depending on his build, if he goes Beetles or if he goes, W build, um, that's a tank that traditionally people can blow up more.
hmm.
But we were just able to catch them all as a group, so that's why the wombo worked so well.
So, what would you in that game two? Because the early game seemed very back and forth, much closer in game two than it was game one. Granted,
Hmm.
they didn't have a Malfurion
Right,
tank or
exactly.
offlaner, but game two was much closer, and then it kind of just opened. What do you think was that big play that kind of just all of a sudden kind of opened it back up for Knife Party and ultimately led you guys to again slowly start winning your way through the rest of that map?
Yeah, I think a lot of that was macro again. I think once we took that boss bottom,
Hmm.
that's
Rexar.
really exactly that's what kept it busy. So we were able to keep them busy in the lanes while we took boss, and then that made it easy. This is a really fun map because you can kind of get a lot of momentum going. That's part of why I personally enjoy this map so much. So
Absolutely.
it's easier to get things like that going. Whereas you get a map like Dragonshire, and you can get that going with Dragonshire, but it's like it just takes a little bit more tinkering, right?
Hmm.
Whereas a map like this or um, some other ones, you can just kind of like march, 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 march.
Awesome.
You know,
Yeah. So, going into this series, I always end with the interviews with two questions. First one I want to ask is, who do you think your team's MVP was for this series?
that's a great question. Um, that's a great question. I would probably go with War for this one. I thought he had two strong Hanzo games back to back, and I thought that went pretty smoothly.
Awesome.
So looked
Dropping
pretty
it
good.
over to War of the Hanzo, busting out one of each ultimate too, showing both the Dragon Strike and the Dragon Arrow. So got
Yeah,
to see a
yeah.
little bit of flair from both ends of the ultimate selection there. All right. So last things last, I'm gonna kind of open the interview up to you. The floor is yours. Any shout outs you'd like to give? Go right ahead.
Um, little bit of a shout out. We've got some mutual friends, them and us, so I guess we'll give a little bit of a shout out to the Wood League teams. We've got them coming up next week, and our eyes are focused. They definitely got some. They got some help from them on some of their bands, so we'll be looking for some friend on friend retribution in the next games ahead. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Giving shout out to I love when there's all this like inner division rivalry, friends
Right?
on friends. It makes it just so much more
Yeah.
fun. But
Yeah.
awesome. Well, Knives, thank you so much for joining me in this interview. Definitely appreciate it. Congratulations again on your domination and good luck to Knife Party throughout the rest of your season.
And thanks for casting for us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you guys for being patient and giving me the
Hey,
10
no
minute
problem.
the 10-minute buffer. It's weird when the
Yeah,
interviewer
yeah.
is the one that needs the 10 minutes but or sorry,
Well,
the
if you need
caster, but
that because you're doing so much casting for us, I mean, that's fantastic. That just shows your devotion to it. So it's a big, big appreciation.
absolutely. Thank you so much and look forward to seeing you guys down the road and hopefully when these playoffs start. Take care,
All
bud.
right. Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Knives, our tank extraordinaire coming out of Knife Party, flexing on the Diablo. And gosh, this wasn't a long series, but I can't even remember back to game one. Oh, Johanna, playing the Johanna in game one as well. So love to see it. Good showing by them. It gets them 3 points, moves them up in the standings, and is setting themselves up for their playoff run, getting themselves in those higher seeding. Meanwhile, Deep Fried Ming Balls still getting used to this new roster, gonna be able to dust themselves off, pick themselves up, and go at it again next week. Definitely, they are veterans, so they are gonna be able to turn this thing around. They had a lot of good things when they got a composition they were more familiar with. They were able to do a lot more. You hate to see when you get that unfortunate misclick there, but ultimately, a lot of good things coming out from both these teams. I'm gonna go ahead look at what my schedule is coming up. I don't believe I have a whole lot. Like I said, I may be doing some replay casts coming up this weekend, depending on if I get a few moments here or there. There's no major cast I don't believe I picked up. Nothing in Storm League this week. Storm League will be coming up again next week. So I may just be doing some solo streams with the team. Our team had a bye week again this week, so we're just kind of messing around, playing some Storm League, maybe a couple other games, taking a little bit of a breather from HOTS. But next week, I will be back to casting. We'll be able to get my schedule up in advance and let you guys know. Thank you guys all so much for all the follows. We had like 10 follows tonight. You guys are awesome coming in with all the follows. Got to drop, I'll just redrop everybody's name: Cleveland Buckeye, Dagner, Marbuck, Lubin, Violence, Marozar, Elbog, War is Fun. Thank you guys all so much for coming in, dropping the follows. Do definitely appreciate it and hope you enjoy chilling on this channel. Got lots more heroes coming at you down the road. And then when playoffs start, it's going to be a whole new level of fun. But for tonight, let me see. I don't know. I know I was one of the later casts. I don't know if there are still any casts going on or not. Looks like Bonkai may still have something going on in his channel. I got to go check that thing out. See if there's. Bonkai, are you still casting over there? Or is he doing an interview? Oh, he's doing an interview. Their series ended as well. So he was the last one for the night. So that is going to be it for the night. That means I'm going to wrap this thing up. Thank you again all so much for coming out. Hope you had a fun time, and I will see you here next time. Have a great night, everyone.